Guys, I'll be going over our trade today. Long story short, slight breakage of rules. Had I not, would have made a little bit more today. Unfortunate on that end, but executions were on point. Rules were followed. It's just a matter of time, and we know that I don't trade London session, but I was slightly daring because I wasn't asleep today, so everything seemed to line up, and I was like, "Oh, perfect storm. Let's see what happens." Clearly, shouldn't have done that and stuck to my usual trading sessions. So let's get straight into it. You guys already know the strategy. We trade higher time frame expansions on the lower time frame. Once we identify the trend, we pretty much find a move on the lower time frames. When everything aligns, that will be when the most likely time occurs where making a bet in that direction will most likely result in a positive outcome. So what does that mean? If market's bullish on the daily, 4 hour, hourly, 15-minute, 5-minute, you could pretty much blindly long it and you'd most likely make money. Now you need to identify when to long it, which would be when retraces occur and reversals are about to happen. So let's get straight into it. GJ on the daily time frame is purely bullish here. So we've already identified that. And because we see this nice sweep happening earlier last week, or Friday of last week, we're already massively bullish. On top of that, on Monday, we see a very nice deep retrace that pretty much got ate right back up. So at this point, we're thinking daily is bullish, 4 hours bullish, not complicated stuff so far, right? So now that you know that, all you really need to know is what is the hourly saying. So I took a trade during London session here. So the hourly was bearish at the time, right? And how do we invalidate hourly structure? We wait for a 15-minute break of structure, right? So once you get the 15-minute, you can scale down further and find an entry. We get the 15-minute break right here, literally 15 minutes into open. So at which point I'm starting to scour for entries. And as you know, GJ doesn't really wait. Most of the times GJ does this retrace, that's about it. I mean, you're not going to get like the crazy deep 61.8 retraces. And if you do, it's always a good thing. But most of the time, I'm pretty loose when it comes to that stuff. So what happens here? We see the retrace. I'm thinking 5 minutes bullish, 15 minutes bullish. Hourly isn't, but we're headed in that direction because of this massive impulse. We see the retrace into the fair value gap. And as per usual, we execute on the 1 minute or the 5 minute. So what do I see here? I see a nice liquidity sweep, which validates it even further on the low time frames. Boom, retrace into the order block. What happens? Expansion. I'm thinking this will be a very good trade. And because the higher time frame are in such alignment, I was literally looking for a swing trade almost. I was like, this should be a pretty good spot to take the trade from. And as expected or unexpected, I got stopped out. So with that being said, that was the first trade of the day, and I sent it out in the Discord. We were down 1 hour. Now, when I woke up, the setup still remained valid, and I'm going to go over everything one more time to make sure that you guys understand everything. The structure on the daily obviously did not change. We are still bullish, and we are going to continue bullish. The 4 hour also did not change. So really, what occurred? We are just getting liquidated by just getting in there during the chop. So the hourly flipped bullish at this point. Now we have hourly structure that's with us, 4 hour structure that's with us, a daily structure that's with us. That's now even more confluence to go long. We retrace into the order block, right? So what do we see here? 15 minutes bearish, but hourly, 4 hour and daily is bullish. And what's happening here? Session's opening. We're going to wait for a 5 minute reversal to expect that 15-minute reversal when the session goes deeper, right? So what does that look like here? We scale down further to the 5 minute to see the reversal happen, right? Boom. Literally, we see a bunch of liquidity sweeps. We see buy side liquidity swept, sell side liquidity swept before the move occurred. And I'm literally scouring the charts at this point. I'm like, oh man, please break so I can enter. Didn't. Came down here, didn't break. I was like, okay. At this point, I entered the trade a little bit early just because I was very much in anticipation of it. But you could have also entered here. I let the Discord know just in case they missed it. But what I entered off of instead of the 5 minute break was the 3 minute break and liquidity sweep that validated further. So upon this 3 minute candle making, I pretty much went long. Normally, I would go long at the break of structure right here, and ultimately would pretty much result in me making a little bit less money. And I had one take profit, literally one sole take profit, and that was the previous day's high. So, well, not previous day, but like previous week. Well, no, previous day high, yeah, Monday. So I was like, okay, that's the target. And we pretty much held till there. It was a rough ride because it started off relatively well. But ultimately, we hit take profit and secured 3.5R.